So today I'm going to be showing you all the best possible way to build your Diamond Dynasty team in MLB The Show 22. Now you don't need the best cards in the game. They definitely help, but you don't need the best cards in the game to build a pretty solid Diamond Dynasty roster. You just have to know what to look for in every single player on your team. So if you're excited for this one, do me a favor, hit the like button, hit that subscribe button if you're new. I would greatly appreciate it. I also live streamed over on Twitch yesterday, and I might be live once again tonight. So if any of you are interested in checking out the stream, it's on the screen for you guys right now, but I hope you enjoyed the video, and let's get it.
Minika, watch me on Twitch, ooh, I'm streaming. I'm on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, red button beaming. Let's get that sub count, take over YouTube, ooh, we teaming. My content so high, ooh, yeah, I'm steaming. Ooh, yeah, I'm steaming. Red button beaming.
Alright, so today we are talking about how to build the best possible Diamond Dynasty team that you can in MLB The Show 22. Now, this doesn't mean having the highest overall cards, doesn't mean putting all 90 plus overall cards is going to necessarily give you the best team in the game. We're just going to be talking about what you want to look for at every single position that's going to make that player better than some of the other players at their position. So this could work for all levels. If you have diamonds on your team, that's great, but if you can only afford gold, silver, bronze cards, you can still make a pretty solid team in Diamond Dynasty as long as you are looking for the right traits in a player at a specific position. So let's start things off with the catcher position. When you're looking for a catcher, there's a few things that you want to look for here. And the first thing is going to be, you want to make sure you have a guy that can hit for power. Take, for example, Yasmani Grandal. His contact isn't the best at the beginning of the year, but it doesn't really matter because we're playing on All-Star for the most part, unless you're getting a World Series division already and playing on Legend. And even if you are, a lot of these pitchers in the game don't have high hits per nine, which if you don't know, affects your batter's PCI size based off your contact rating. So 55 contact against righties and 66 against lefties for the first 2 weeks of the game isn't going to be bad. You really want to focus on that power. 93 against righties, 96 against lefties. That's amazing to start off the year. So Yasmani Grandal or any power catcher, that's what you want to look for. And when you're looking for a catcher also, you definitely want to take into account the defense, and Yasmani Grandal isn't the best with that. So if you want to value hitting over defense, you can go with Grandal or another offensive catcher. But if you are looking to value defense over offense, you don't want to let the ball get past you don't want people stealing on you, look for players with better fielding stats and blocking. Blocking is a super important stat for a catcher because if they have a bad blocking stat, if you throw a ball in the dirt, chances are it's going to get behind them. So you want a good catcher with a good blocking stat. Also the arm, obviously you don't want people stealing on you, so having a great arm is great. So it really becomes what you value, hitting or defense. I'm personally going to go with the power bat though at the beginning of the year, so that's why I'm going to go with somebody like Yasmani Grandal on the team. Then we're going to move on to first base, and this again is going to be a power slugger. You do not need a gold glove defender at first base. You want somebody that can hit for power. Somebody like Pete Alonso, 90 power against righties, 112 against lefties with a live series inside edge boost. This card is some of the best power in the game right now, and he's only 2,000 stubs on the market. You don't need a gold glove defender at first base. If you want one, there's still some that can hit really well and still have good defense. Take into account Freddie Freeman here. Definitely a better defender than Pete Alonso. Pretty solid for the first baseman spot. He has pretty good power and pretty good contact. He's a well-rounded first baseman. But I personally am going to go with somebody with more power. But if you like somebody swing at first base, that's really important too, because your first baseman has to be one of the best hitters on your team. For the second baseman position, majority of the best second basemen are actually shortstops turned second baseman. Take in, for example, Trey Turner. This guy is great. He could be used at the second baseman spot because his defense isn't the best. And at second base, this is kind of where you want to hide your lesser defender between shortstop and second base. You want a better defender at shortstop and probably the worst defender at second base, because they're not gonna have to make as many tough plays as the shortstop is going to, especially if they have a weak arm too, like Trey Turner, only a 71 arm, 77 fielding, and 76 reaction time. So you want to hide that player at second base with a lower arm and lower defensive stats, but you want somebody with good speed, good contact, somebody that's going to get on base. This doesn't necessarily have to be a power hitter, but Trey Turner can hit for power as well as contact. But definitely second base is a spot you want to put probably in the top of your order or right at the bottom of the order, depending on the contact stat of that player, who you like to use, depending on how you like to swing. But you want somebody that's going to get on base and kind of treat them as a leadoff hitter. So at shortstop, we talked a little bit about it already. Like I said, you want the better defender between the shortstop and the second baseman playing shortstop. Now, somebody like Francisco Lindor is actually really solid. The only deficiency with Francisco Lindor's card right now is the arm. He only has a 63 arm, but he does have 95 fielding, 99 reaction time. So he is going to get to every single baseball hit his way for the most part. But because of the lack of arm strength, you might not want to use him at shortstop. You want to get somebody with a better arm. I would take in, for example, the Carlos Correa Live Series card. That card is pretty well rounded at the shortstop position. I personally need to get more stubs so I can invest in a better shortstop in the game right now. So I'm working with these budget shortstops, but I definitely want to improve on a card like Francisco Lindor. But these 90 overall faces of the franchise cards, which I'll show you guys right now, they have a bunch of great options for the shortstop position. Let's just go take a look really quick. The faces of the franchise cards are very cheap as well. We have a couple good options. Wander Franco is a very good defender for the shortstop spot. He's a switch hitting bat, really good speed. The only problem with this card is the stats against righties, which isn't great. Contact against righties and power against righties is a little low for my liking, but he is an excellent defender. He can hit lefties really well, switch hitting bat, and good speed. This Corey Seager takes a step up in defensive stats than his Live Series card, so that definitely helps. And this Lindor could probably play shortstop for you, because if you give him the parallel 5, he's going to have 99 fielding, 99 reaction time, 73 arm, and 83 accuracy. That's pretty good for the shortstop spot. For the third baseman spot, the hot corner, you need a defender that has a good fielding stat and a good reaction time stat. So Lindor actually would work perfect at third base, and you actually can use him there if you're worried about the lack of arm strength. You can use Lindor at third base, because at the hot corner, you don't have to cover too much ground, but you have to react very, very quickly, be able to get to the left down the line or get to the right towards the shortstop if they can't make the play. So 95 fielding from Lindor and 99 reaction time. If you did put him at a secondary position, though, that would go to 90 fielding and 94 reaction time, but still, that would be elite. So you definitely want to look for high fielding and high reaction time at the third baseman spot. Having a good arm definitely complements as well, and you want to get a decent power bat for the third baseman spot as well. So first base, catcher, third base, those are going to be your sluggers in the infield, and then in the middle here, you want guys that can hit for contact, good speed, maybe some power if you could find it. The outfield could be very similar at times, but there are some differences between the outfield positions. In right field, this is where you want your best arm in the outfield. Take it, for example, Hunter Renfroe. This guy has a 95 arm that is an absolute cannon. You want to be able to deliver the ball to home plate as quick as possible, and with an arm like Hunter Renfroe, Ronald Acuna Jr., there's a lot of guys with great arms, and that is the outfield that you want in right field. Also, having really good power is really essential in right field as well. So Hunter Renfroe is a great budget piece, only 1,000 stubs on the market. You throw him in right field, he has a decent amount of speed, fielding, and reaction time to get to the ball, and once he does, he can throw the ball anywhere he needs to get it. He needs to make that long throw to third base, has to throw it to home plate, he's going to get it done, and he can hit you a ton of home runs. For the center fielder spot, this is going to be the most versatile out of all your outfielders. They have to be able to do it all. They have to have a good enough arm, good enough speed to cover a lot of ground in center field, decent fielding stats and reaction time stats. They need to be solid contact wise and solid power wise. So somebody like this 88 overall Mickey Mantle card is absolutely great. You get a Brian Reynolds card on the market, which is extremely cheap too for you budget players out there. He's a great option too. Another switch hitting bat, good contact, solid enough power at the beginning of the year. The defensive stats are good enough for the center field spot. You get them paralleled up to Mickey Mantle at parallel 5 with that 75 fielding, 85 arm, 78 accuracy, and 79 reaction time with 87 speed. That would be pretty good for the beginning of the year. In left field, you have a little more flexibility than center field. In right field, because you have that great arm in right field, you have that versatile outfielder in center field that can make all the plays and cover some ground. So in left field, if you want to go with somebody with speed like Tyler O'Neill, you can do that. He has good power, solid enough contact. He has really good speed too, so he can help out Mickey Mantle from left field to center field to make a lot of plays. Nothing would really drop on that left side of the outfield. But if you want to go with somebody with a lot of power, not great defensively, and hopefully that center field can make up some ground for them, you can go with somebody like Nick Castellanos. If you need an extra power bat in your lineup, you haven't been scoring a lot of runs, maybe you want to go that route and add an extra good bat to your lineup. So now we have our team. Take this one for example. Now let's work on the lineup. In the leadoff spot, you want somebody that's going to get on base, can steal bases, has a lot of speed. That's Trey Turner, can steal bases, hit for contact. He's going to get on base a lot for you. At the 2 spot, you want somebody versatile, somebody that can hit for contact, somebody that can hit for power. That's going to be Mickey Mantle. That's going to be our center fielder. Mickey Mantle works great for the 2 spot. At the 3 spot, we want somebody that can bring those 2 guys in, somebody that can hit for contact and power, and Freddie Freeman, our first baseman, fits in perfectly there. Freddie Freeman's going to stack up the RBIs from Trey Turner and Mickey Mantle in this lineup. At the 4 hole, you want your best hitter, somebody you're going to hit the most home runs with, and in this case, I'm going to go with the catcher here, our best power bat in the lineup, Yasmani Grandal. He's going to be our 4 hitter. At the 5 hitter, I would normally have my third baseman here. Francisco Lindor isn't going to be my main third baseman on my team, but this is probably going to be the next best power bat in your lineup. You also could switch this out with Hunter Renfroe if you want to do that. Put your right fielder at the 5 spot, but you want your next best slugger at the 5 spot right after your cleanup hitter, just in case your cleanup hitter gets out and you have that 5 hitter to go ahead and get that home run anyway. And then at the 6 spot, you're going to have vice versa. You could have your third baseman baseman or your right fielder. At 7th spot, we're going to have our left fielder here. In this case, it's going to be Nick Castellanos. If you go with somebody like Tyler O'Neill, he should be able to get on base, have good speed as well. And then the 8th spot's going to hopefully get on base, feel like a second leadoff hitter as long as you don't have 2 outs, because the pitcher is coming up next, which they added the DH full-time in Diamond Dynasty this year, but they didn't do that. But the 8th spot's kind of going to feel like that second leadoff hitter as long as you don't have 2 outs. So you want somebody with good contact. This is a pretty good spot for a shortstop, unless you're running Tatis, because Tatis has a ton of power, so you definitely don't want him batting 8th. So that's going to be the lineup. Now let's work on the bench. And the bench is very simple. You want a good mix of lefty righties. Let's go with Corey Seager, great lefty bat. Then we could go with someone like Pete Alonso, who's a righty bat who is excellent against lefties, 112 power against lefties. And we're just going to fill this in. Righty and lefty bats. I would say have more lefty bats than righties, because more likely than not, you're going to face more righty relievers than lefties. So I would say go 3 lefties in your bench right here, and then go 2 righties. So let's go Tyler O'Neill and Pete as our righties, and I have to get one more lefty here. Let's go with Joey Votto over Miguel Cabrera. So this is what we're going to be looking like. This is the offense. Now let's work on the pitching. So the tips for the starting pitching rotation is going to apply to all 5 pitchers in your rotation. I want pitchers that throw the meta pitches. I know it sounds a little nerdy, but you want pitchers that throw the best pitches in the game. And in this case, a sinker, cutter, slider combo is unbeatable. Those are the best pitches in the game every single year. So you want to get your starting pitchers that have that. If you want to go with a pitcher or 2 in your rotation that throw absolute gas, you can do that too. Go with somebody like a budget beast like Noah Syndergaard, Michael Kopech, that can throw gas, because at the beginning of the year, some players can't touch the fastball. They find it easier to touch like a 92 mile per hour cutter, let's say from Logan Webb. So maybe if you want to mix in some fireballers with your players like Logan Webb that have the meta pitches, that's what you want to do for the rotation. For the bullpen, you want to make sure you are mixing in righties and lefties into your bullpen. At minimum, 2 lefties in your bullpen. I would personally like to have 3 though. You don't have to mix in righty or lefty starting pitchers. You're going to face a new player every single game, so it doesn't matter. But the bullpen, you're going to be bringing in different players depending on the matchup. So you want a good mix of righties and lefties, and you want players with decent per 9 stats. Take Mariano Rivera, for example, 101 hits per 9. This card was completely free. This Rob Dibble, he doesn't have the best per 9 stats. I think this card actually got nerfed this year. So you want to look for those players with decent per 9 stats coming out of the bullpen. Let's take Blake Treinen, for example, once again, 100 hits per 9. And then you want to find some players that have some funky releases. Let's take, for example, Aaron Loup. Aaron Loup is absolutely disgusting. He's only a 75 overall, but I would say he's definitely better than some gold relievers you could find on the marketplace because of the pitch selection, because of the pitch release. And the same could be said about Camilo Doval. He pitches the ball from the ground. It's going to be difficult for your opponent to time up the release, especially if you're only going to let him pitch for an inning. All right, everyone, so that's how you're going to build the best possible Diamond Dynasty team in MLB The Show 22. If you enjoyed the video and you found it useful, do me a favor, hit the like button, hit that subscribe button if you were new. I would greatly appreciate it. And make sure to follow me over on Twitch. If you guys missed the live stream yesterday, should be live tonight, and if not tonight, definitely on Tuesday. So I hope to see you all there. But that's going to do it for the video. I'll see you all on the next one. Have a great rest of your day. Peace.